Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of UC Weekly News. I'm your host, David Danto, here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at WebexOne 2024. We're going to have some conversations with some of my fellow analysts. We're going to hear from some of the people at Cisco, give you a sense of what it's like being around the show here. So stay with me. I'll be right back.
Welcome to WebexOne 2024. Please welcome Senior Vice President, Chief Marketing and Customer Officer, Cisco Collaboration, Aruna Ravichandran.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 5th annual WebexOne. We are thrilled to have over 2,500 people in the room with us today. Our customers, partners, analysts, press, and more. A huge shout out to the 15,000 people who are joining us virtually all around the globe. Please join me in welcoming Jeetu Patel, our Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer for Cisco, to kick us off.
Don't we all love Aruna? How's everyone doing? This is a full house. I'm excited. And there's going to be like 25,000 people online watching or something. So it's thank you all for taking the time. We're so fortunate to have your coaching, your guidance, your championship, your support over the course of the past many years. And this is always a special event for me. So even though in these new jobs I've become overhead, I try to keep inserting myself in there. Like, Jeetu, we'll give you 10 minutes. I'm like, that's great. I've never done anything meaningful in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try my best over here. So let's get started with this very, very exciting event. And so if you start to think about what's happening in the industry right now, there is a seismic shift as it pertains to AI. We've all been talking about it now for a couple of years, and we're ushering a completely new era of productivity in the market. And we are all starting to feel it. We are all starting to feel the momentum around it. But what's happened is, the world has seen massive momentum over the course of the past, 2 years, since November of 2022. And it was kind of a seminal moment for this industry. But what's interesting is, even though there's so much potential, our lives haven't really that materially changed in the past couple of years, right? Most of us are doing kind of the same thing. We've got some more assistance. Our search patterns have changed a little bit, but by and large, our lives haven't that materially changed yet. But I think that's about to change quite dramatically. As we actually start to think about what's going to happen moving forward. And what I feel is always interesting in this kind of market is there is always this step function order of magnitude change that happens, but it takes longer than most people would have thought initially. So the short-term impact on these kind of seismic platform changes is always overestimated, but the long-term impact is grossly underestimated. But the underlying fabric of this is all going to be based on data. You have to have some really meaningful data so that you can provide this very differentiated way that organizations can go out and think about their value proposition in the market. Now, the way that you should think about Cisco and what the highest order, what are the big problems that we're solving? There are 3 big problems we're going to solve. We're going to provide AI-ready data centers for the world. We're going to provide future-proof workplaces. And we're going to make sure that we provide a level of resilience so that if an organization has an outage, whether that be because of connectivity, whether that be because of a security breach, whether that be because of some kind of an API overage or a bug in the application, what we will make sure that we do is you can come back up from the outage and resume operations as quickly and effectively as possible because of the correlation of data. So you don't spend the first 4 hours figuring out what went wrong. You try to go out and remediate that outage as quickly as possible. And all of that's going to be accelerated by AI and data. So today, this event, specifically in that entire construct of Cisco, is going to be around future-proof workplaces. We're going to talk about how we're going to fundamentally reimagine workplaces. And when we think about workplaces, people work and serve customers from anywhere. They can be a campus, a branch, a factory floor, a car, an office, on and on and on. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that we look at this problem very holistically. So the way that we're thinking about this problem right now, and I'm really excited about the innovations that the team has had, is there's going to be 4 key areas that only Cisco can provide that we want to make sure that we can actually start to share with you. And this is a holistic end-to-end approach. The first area is this notion of secure campus and branch networking. We need to make sure that we deliver that. The second area is smart building technology, and you'll start to see how smart building technology, which is sustainable, which is more productive for people, which is more automated, is going to be something that we'll actually be investing a lot of effort and time on. The third area is security for the workplace itself, so that anything that you use, you don't have to worry about security being something that is at risk when you're working with Cisco. If you're connected with Cisco, then you should automatically be protected. And then the last one is this notion of seamless collaboration that the Webex team has done such a great job of over the course of the past few years. Let me make sure that I introduce one of my favorite people who has done such an amazing job at Cisco. He's been here for the past couple of decades, and he now runs our Webex business. And his name is Anurag Dhingra. Anurag is this SVP and GM of the collaboration business. And over the course of the past 4 years, a lot of the things that you've seen that were massively progressive came from Anurag and his team. It was one of the easiest decisions I had to make when we had to promote him to go run the entire business. I'm looking forward to actually working with Anurag, but he's got some of the most amazing innovations that this team has been working on for many, many years to share all the things that they've been actually keeping secret for so long. And even yesterday when we had some customers, they wouldn't share the details because they wanted to do it for the first time reveal at this show. So without further ado, let's make a lot of noise for Anurag Dhingra to come over here and walk you through what's going on. There you go, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeetu, for that wonderful introduction. And let me tell you how excited I am to be here at WebexOne. Now, this is the second year that we are hosting a hybrid event. Many of you are here in person, and many more are watching online. And let me tell you, a lot has changed in the last couple of years. As Jeetu was talking about, we are now in this new age of AI. And what's fascinating is how fast this technology is moving. Just within the last couple of years, we've gone from generative AI and large language models seeming like magic to large-scale real-world deployments. And Webex has been at the forefront of all of this AI innovation. We are pioneers in purpose-built AI that helps make people productive and build better human connections. But as we have incorporated AI in our products, we've learned one thing. There is one timeless thing that is unchanged. And that is the fundamental importance of human connection. So, as we talk about all of the innovation that we're bringing here this week, I want you to remember that everything we do at Webex is to help you make better connections with each other, with your colleagues, and with your customers. With that, let's take a look at how Webex has been applying technology to help you make these connections better. Let's roll the video, please.
When it comes to connecting, experience matters. Because when we fail to hear each other, see each other, or empower everyone to engage and be included, we're not at our best. Our purpose is to cut through the noise and focus on what's important. We build technology that elevates all voices. We develop AI that transforms data into action. We create tools that empower teams, enabling flexibility and creativity. No matter the interaction, no matter where it happens, the way we connect makes a difference. Experience matters.
Thank you. I'm so excited that we have a new innovation to fix the state of self-service and to help contact centers scale beyond the constraints of their human capital. And I would like you to meet the new autonomous Webex AI agent. Thank you. This agent combines natural-sounding conversational intelligence with generative AI, automation and integration with most of the popular back-office systems to deliver true outcomes. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Cisco HR. I'm Kate, your AI agent. I can help you with questions around Cisco benefits. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Kate. Can you tell me how much I could contribute to my 401k plan?
Sure. You can contribute up to IRS limits, and Cisco matches your contributions dollar for dollar up to 4.5% of eligible pay. If you need more details or...
No, hold on. Sorry. I meant to ask about ESPP.
No problem. For the Employee Stock Purchase Plan, ESPP, you can contribute up to 10% of your pay to purchase Cisco stock at a discount.
Okay, got it. Now, before I hang up,
Great.
Can you help me submit a vacation time off?
Of course. First, please read out the 6-digit passcode from your Duo app for authentication.
Okay, 179154.
Great, thank you. Now, how many days of vacation are you planning to take, and what are the start and end dates?
I was looking to take about 3 days off starting next Tuesday.
Got it. So you want to take 3 days off starting from Tuesday, October 22nd, and ending on Thursday, October 24th. Is that correct?
Yeah, but before I confirm, can you let me know what the forecast will be in Miami?
I'm sorry, but I can't provide weather forecasts. You might want to check a weather app or website for the latest updates on Miami's weather. Would you like me to proceed with logging your vacation days?
Yes, please.
All right, I've logged your vacation days from Tuesday, October 22nd to Thursday, October 24th. Enjoy your time off.
Isn't it amazing? Thank you.
Wow, so good to see you. Great to have you all at WebexOne. At Cisco, we think about the networking, the security, the collaboration, and observability as a layered set of capabilities. We think of that as full stack collaboration, leveraging networking and security as foundation and building collaboration hardware and software on top of that. We have Cisco Spaces running. We can see the entire floor plan of Building 10 back in San Jose. I see all of the rooms. I get all of the statistics here, CO2 level, temperature, and I want to find a room for the day. You know, there's a lot of them here. There's some up here, but they're very, very big. It's just me, so I could probably get away with a huddle space, so I'll select a huddle space. Gives me information. It's space for 4. 72 degrees, that's perfect. I can then hold the room for 3 minutes while I walk over to it. So I'll hold the room, it's now held, but I don't know where it is. Let me get directions. And what you see there is you get directions and you get a QR code, you pick up your phone, you take that, and it will guide you to where you want to be. That is cool, right? But you know what? I'm a social creature. I like to sit with my buddies and my peers when I get into the office. So, can I do some of this from home? Of course I can, or driving in. So here, I have my iPhone. You see it up there. If I press this, I have access to the tool as well on my phone. And you know, I need a desk for the day. I would really like to look into available desks. Okay, and I know that Anurag is here and Vinod is here. You know, I'll pick this desk. I would like that desk. You know, that is available. This is actually then sitting in the room, and watch it when I press this. It's nice and green. This is our new 9800, isn't it great? We call it redesigning an icon. And as soon as I book this room, it's mine, it's reserved, right? Isn't that incredible? You have access, you make it yours, you're able to reserve. This is a very big stage. It takes a long time to walk across it. I have a long talk track, and when I get over here to the meeting room, I can actually do the same thing here. I get to the meeting room, and back here, I have my phone. You see, this is outside the meeting room, that's inside, just for you guys. Then we open the camera, there's a QR code. I'll take that, and when I'm doing that, I'm actually logging into, I'm signing in as me in this meeting room, right? Okay, let's be there till 6, 8 hours, 28 minutes, that's how long this keynote is, so that's good, we'll book it. And you see now, I'm signed in as me. My meeting popped up, and shoot, I'm late for that meeting. Let me join that meeting and dive into that. And here I have,
This meeting is being transcribed and summarized.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good to see all of you. This is the Oslo team again, live into all of you here. Let me show you magic. Down here on the device, we also have AI. I was late into the meeting. I could be asked to catch me up. Or, you know what, have I gotten any action items? I'm pressing that, looking into what happened in the meeting. Here are the action items so far. One for Lisa, one for Thomas, one for Mary, and no other action item. Yes, I'm off the hook. Isn't that super?
It's going to show you up as a F1 driver right
so
here.
It's AI and it simulates that I'm actually in the race car.
Yeah, it shows you like if you won there's a couple images here if you want to report it. It's going to show you here like with the trophy and the suits. Like it's going to do a whole bunch of those, and then it'll send you all of them, and you can just save them from your phone.
Awesome. We'll see how that turns out.
Of course.
Thank you. So now I'm sitting here with Cisco's Espen Loberg. Espen, thanks for joining me again. I remember we were sitting with you and Chris Barwick at Infocom talking about some of these things that we finally have had announced. Every time I said, when are we going to hear about more things, you said WebexOne in October, WebexOne in October. So we are now at WebexOne in October. Tell us a couple of the announcements that came out at the show.
Yeah, so we've had multiple announcements here on the devices side. We're super excited about finally bringing out what we showed you, or at least we gave you a sneak peek at Infocom. We gave you more sneak peeks in Oslo a couple of months ago, and then now we got to see all of it, right? And got it presented by our GMs and our experts. I think we're continuing the journey we've been on for a while, right? I mean, secure, sustainable, smart AI-powered devices. We've come out with a lot of those over the last couple of years. We fully refreshed our room and board portfolio. We fully refreshed our desk phone portfolio. This week we introduced a new kind of groundbreaking ceiling microphone to the market, which aligns with our story about kind of the intelligence and the brain in the room with our NVIDIA powered codecs, our smart cameras that are the eyes of the room, and then now these amazing ears in the rooms.
Now, pause there for a second. Yeah. When you showed me the preview of that at Infocom in June, it was about that big. And now when you have it, it's more like about that big, but it's the same number of elements, right?
It's the same number of elements, 64 microphones, 3 ultrasound speakers. We started out with assuming that the bigger would be the better for the audio quality. And then the maximum size would be like a ceiling tile, of course. But because we have kind of developed this product as we do with all our products, sustainability first, our designers and our mechanical engineers, our audio engineers, obviously try to make it as, or at least experimented with making it as small as possible, and did a lot of research on how that would actually impact the audio experience. And it turned out that it would be equally good if you actually reduced the size by 40%, which means that it's smaller than when you saw it last. And that obviously has a massive impact on the sustainability side, right? With obviously kind of smaller packaging, which is also, by the way, the first time we're doing a 100% plastic-free packaging, so we're very happy about that. And then all the implications on shipping and all of that, right? So super happy about it. It really kind of transformed the employee experience with kind of the audio quality you're getting out of any space. It transforms the IT experience because it's so easy to set up, and it also...
Well, there's no setup, right? You just plug it in and it detects the room and...
plugs in and it kind of auto configures, right? So compared to the microphones that are out there today, which can take hours, sometimes days to set up, and that are then static, right? They're not intelligent with regards to the activity in the room. This microphone is adaptable. It does adaptable beamforming, and it is also guided by the cameras, right, to understand. So the cameras also make the microphones smarter, and then it's obviously connected to Control Hub. It can be software upgraded, and monitored in all possible ways. So you have full observability as well.
Now, while it's a great microphone, and I'm sure a lot of people will use it and get a lot of good use for it, I honestly am not a big fan of ceiling microphones, only because why do I want to bring in a general contractor to have to work on the ceiling? But what you have in there is you now have stacked algorithms of machine learning that clean up audio, so you don't get the reflections from glass, you don't get reverberation. It's now much better. And what it is a step toward microphones essentially wherever you want to put them. Now, I know we're not there yet, but I know, in having conversations with the people in your labs, the idea is, can we create a room where there's zero impact on the space and yet still have microphones and pickups? So this is a great step to that.
It's a big leap forward, right? And it's also kind of a big leap forward in our whole AV over IP story, right? Because yes, you want to minimize the number of cables and the work for facilities.
One single Cat 6 for
so
this, right?
There's just one Cat 6 and that's it, right? Which hugely, simplifies the install of ceiling mic, right?
Terrific. And one of the other announcements that I saw that didn't get a lot of press and pickup, most collaboration applications, yours, WebEx, and the other ones out there, are all able to do now meeting notes and summaries and to a certain extent catch me up. But what I saw here today was you're able to walk over to one of your devices in a room system, not a personal system, and ask the room system to say, hey, I was late to the meeting, catch me up. And it'll bring over a little box and give you those details and then go hide itself again. Yeah. That's an interesting innovation.
We're super excited about that, and but I think the whole AI assistant story that we bring out there across WebEx has gotten a lot of attention, maybe, and this is a somewhat of a catch me up, right, on the devices, right? Because this capability was released on the app this year. But obviously it has different implications, and it needs to be kind of enabled in a different way on the devices. So that's why we've taken our time to make sure that the user experience is flawless, and we're seeing a lot of excitement, honestly, on our booth with this capability. So you will see more of this going forward. And this is just the first step, right? When it comes to assistant on devices, you will see more. And we're not only kind of innovating here on the end user experience. We're also doing a lot of assistant and AI work for IT and facilities.
Right. I saw Snorri in his keynote talk about how you've got two audiences. You've got the user audience and you've got the owner audience, and you have to serve them both.
Exactly, right. So I think with our announcements here, we've been equally conscious about providing even more capabilities for IT as they're scaling their video deployments. All our customers are scaling their video deployments to the limits, and it's really kind of bandwidth or human resources, which is kind of the most limiting factor, right? So whatever we can do to make their job easier, the better they can help their end users, right? So Smart Diagnostics is an AI power capability that helps IT troubleshoot or proactively kind of troubleshoot and sort issues in the deployment in a very simple way, right? So if you
and that's the better use of AI, in my opinion. And generative AI in summaries, it's nice, but we've been over-rotating on that in the industry for a while. But having AI do things that the human can't do, you know, the idea of, as you talk about, scale and the machine intelligence and the machine learning, that's really a power of AI that I like seeing.
Yeah, and I think when you it's particularly the scale aspect, right? Because the controller will identify if you have an issue in your deployment and tell you about it and tell you how to resolve it, and then but it will also tell you that this is actually not just issue in this room, it's actually affecting 45 of your other rooms as well, and you can just, you want me to fix all of it with one click, yes, and you're done, right? So that's going to be a game changer for IT going forward.
Yeah. So you did mention that, you know, about a month or so ago I was in Oslo, and your people there were very gracious, and we actually saw each other briefly, and I got a kind of a look through the lab. So I know that you're still working on some other things that you didn't introduce at this show. So without breaking any NDAs and without going too far into detail, can you tell the people that are watching the show the kinds of things that you're working on the roadmap without giving anything away? I mean,
I need to say one more thing that we did announce here, which is a groundbreaking partnership with Apple, where we're bringing spatial meetings from room devices, right? And how we can now provide spatial meetings with a Roombar Pro.
With everything that's already deployed. There's nothing
exactly. We have almost 30,000 devices out there already. This will be a software upgrade, and then you can have spatial meetings on WebEx with your...
A lot of tremendously powerful industrial applications for that. Not so much for the consumer, but, you know, for product manufacturing and other
manufacturing, design, healthcare.
Which is where your enterprise customers have these products deployed. Exactly. So that's a big win.
So I mean, you will see more there in our partnership with Apple, and then I mean, we're always obviously kind of looking at the next generation. Our partnership with NVIDIA will just continue to evolve. I can say that much, right? I mean, we're on our third generation. There will obviously be a fourth generation.
Right.
I think you got a sneak peek into some of that.
I know you're also doing some things with cameras and camera angles, and we'll hear more about that going forward.
Yeah, and the whole AV over IP story that is now kind of coming out first on the microphones. I mean, directionally that will also happen to cameras going forward, right? So you will see more in our AV over IP story over the next 6 to 12 months.
Terrific. Thank you for the update. Thank you for the briefing, and
great to see you again, Dave.
Great to see you, and hope to hear more great things from Cisco and WebEx going forward.
You will.
Okay. We are at Cisco's WebexOne conference. I'm here with two of my best friends in the analyst industry, Kevin Kieller and David Maldow. Oh, right, we got badges, right?
There you go.
We're proven. It's our only WebexOne background. You can see a little bit of baby palm trees in the background. So we're going to chat a little bit about WebexOne, and then we're going to chat a little bit about the AI controversy that we've been talking about going forward, which they're probably two and the same things, you know, at least at some point.
Definitely.
But we've been here now for all of us for at least 2 days, right? And there's some interesting announcements from Cisco, right? The first thing was, you know, well, their AI is different and better than everybody else's AI. So I heard that from everybody else, so that's not a big deal. But what they did show us was they showed us some real natural language processing around an automated AI assistant in the WebEx contact center capability, right? And that's pretty awesome the way they were able to do it.
It's hard to get me excited about contact center because I just think about my own personal bad experiences and like, let's talk about anything else. But this was exciting. When I get a chatbot, I say human. I don't like chatbots. human. Operator. Agent. And that's my philosophy. I don't trust them. They're dumb. Even the ones with a little bit of AI are good. I want a human. But this was like, the demo they showed, it was a voice call. And the person was talking to an AI, and we had to ask, is that really an AI they were talking to? Because it was so convincing.
Yeah, and I think it was a great demo. I do think that they did, they were, admitted that it was a constrained demo, so that it wasn't fully production, although they did show a production version that they're using internally for their HR, so you can ask about benefits, and you could do some agentic thing, right? Because we have to say AI, but we now have to say agentic AI. Yeah, so you could, for example, get the virtual AI to book your vacation time off, and it was quite compelling. It sounded like you're talking to a human.
People talking to it could change their minds. They could say, "Tell me this." "Oh no, never. I didn't want that. I wanted to switch." And it was able to switch and keep up with it. So
not only got the switching, but as I'm doing for you, dealing with interrupting. That's something you can't do with bots. If the bot starts giving you an answer, you go, "Stop! Shut up! I'm not. I didn't. No. Wait! I want to talk about something else." It'll just keep going at you. This bot, the lady doing the demo, said, "I want to ask you about this." The bot started talking, and I said, "No, check out blah blah blah," and the bot shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
Let the person know.
And the one thing I liked and didn't like at the same time is they were showing, and I have to dig deeper into it, but they were showing a version of AI Studio, which is how they create this language. And they were saying, "Oh, it's really very simple," and then they proceeded to show you how to fill out tax returns for a Schedule C corporation. It's like, no. That's not simple. We're going to have to parse that down a little bit more to see how well that works out and the guardrails get set up and everything. But it was cool.
Well, and I think the thing is, here's the reality is that, Microsoft has Copilot Studio, Zoomtopia has Zoom AI Companion Studio. Now we saw, AI Assistant Studio. So all the vendors are forced to pre-release a final version. Like this clearly was a canned demo.
Right.
And so now it's a race really to see who can bring, production grade, generally available tools, right? Because everything works well in a demo, and in the real world, it gets to be complicated. And so I think I'm very optimistic about the future. But, I think that what we're seeing is a lot of aspirational things. And what I like about Cisco and the WebEx team is, they were very clear. When we asked them detailed questions, they said, this is where it is, and I think it's supposed to be generally available, a bunch of things, certainly by the second half of 2025.
Well,
right?
They said first half, and a couple of things they said first quarter. So early 2025,
right? But it was, it was certainly a very interesting demo.
And they tried very hard to make the point that this isn't just a standalone AI or a bolted-on AI, but this is one stack that flows through their entire WebEx stack and all of their hardware and their software and everything else that they're working on. So once they develop it, they're able to use it everywhere. And they gave the example from a machine learning standpoint that the noise cancellation that they created during the pandemic to get rid of barking dogs and crinkling paper, they were able to port that into the contact center to clean up phone noise coming in from people that are calling in. So again, they develop it once and they move it across what is probably one of the broadest stacks in the industry. So that was good. They also had some hardware announcements. They talked about, their new Ceiling Mic Pro, which is their, adaptive machine learning. I don't want to call it AI because, you stick that label on everything and we'll get to that. But it's a microphone that you mount over a table that has no setup. You plug it in and it figures out what it needs to do and it does it. Which is, as much as I'm not a fan of ceiling microphones, I am a fan of what I'm setting up, with the various machine learning algorithms and microphones. What it can do now makes life a lot easier than what we used to have to do in conference rooms.
Yeah, and I think Snor said there's like 64 different microphones inside it.
48, 64.
A big number. But anyway,
yeah.
So that was pretty fascinating. The one thing, just to come back to kind of the AI piece, Cisco said they have like differentiated AI, and I think all the vendors are saying that. So I always try to figure out, okay, well, do they know what the other vendors are doing, and how is it really differentiated? And my takeaway is I had a good conversation with Chris Rowan, who is kind of the development side of the AI group. And the thing that I think that is differentiated with Cisco and doesn't get enough press is all the stuff, all the noise cancellation, their adaptive AI, WebEx AI codec, the speech to text, and some of the AI they apply there. So, because if you get that speech to text wrong, it doesn't matter what your LLM does. It's like, the 80% of it is doing speech to text actually before you do the LLM. And I think that that for me is where Cisco differentiates compared to some of the other people. And I think they take, some of that for granted, so they don't actually tell that story as well as they potentially could. But that's a differentiator from my perspective.
And Dave, they were also showing us a workplace configuration tool, right? Did you dive into that a little bit?
Play with that. I think it's going to be available on their website
Today.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was generally available today. So
it's almost like a little video game. You build your room and you put a microphone here and you put a microphone here and it shows where the coverage is, and the seat is red. It means, that person can't hear you good. You got to put a bigger microphone, bigger screens, different cameras. It's nice to see your room in a 3D space virtually before you start buying gear and plugging things and seeing that you have that experience. I love that.
So there were a lot of really good announcements. It was certainly a worthwhile trip down here. And
So that's it for this week's episode of UC Weekly News. Thank you very much for joining us. Next week, I'm going to have an episode of one of the things that I did at Commercial Integrators Expo in Denver. One of the lessons that we learned as we turn out the lights and get ready for the next session here. So I will see you next week. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, everybody.